On this video, I have another unboxing for you. Yeah, I went back to Harbor Freight.
This is the Old Guy Network.
Yep. Welcome back to the Trailer Hood. I'm the old guy, the OG, but you knew that already. And it is a beautiful day. Sun is shining, the birds are singing, and I am going to go to Harbor Freight and pick up some new tools. Actually, I've already been there, and I love going to Harbor Freight now. They have really changed during the years. Now, I used to go there before because if you're going to pick up things like zip ties or bungee straps or tape or things like that, I mean, it's very, very cheap. That was the place to go. The tools were not the best, and they still have some lower end tools. They're good for one job, two jobs, and then, not so much after that. But now they have not only the Hercules brand, but they also carry the Bauer brand, and I'm a big fan of the Bauer brand so far. Now, I didn't buy any Bauer tools this time, but what I wanted to do is see if I could get a few things that I needed for under $50 at Harbor Freight. $50 does not go very far anymore. We all know that. So I think I did pretty good. You let me know what you think. We're going to head out to the shop, and I'm going to show you everything. First, though, I do want to remind you that you can head on over to the Old Guy Network shop, and you can pick up a coffee mug that looks just like this, except for one thing. Yours won't have any coffee in it until you put it in. Mine's already loaded. So you can head over there. They're great mugs. I have a bunch of other different things. You can get hoodies, you can get sweats, you can get jackets, t-shirts, tank tops, all kinds of great stuff. And there is a link in the description. Description? No, in the description. It's been a long day, friends. So let's head on out to the shop now after you check that out. Now we'll check out what I got at Harbor Freight for under $50. Well, welcome back into the shop. We've got everything going for us today. We've got a beautiful day. I got some new stuff from Harbor Freight, and the shop is clean. Well, relatively. Look at that. Everything's organized. It's a lot easier when I do that. So as I mentioned before, I went to Harbor Freight. I was going to say we, but it was just me. And I picked up a few things and didn't spend a whole lot of money. That's why I really like Harbor Freight. And the tools that we get there now, they're a lot better than they used to be. So, big fan. I'm going to show you what I got. And I only spent, I'll tell you right now, I spent, well, before tax, $44.35. And this is what I got. I got an 18-pack of batteries for $6. Well, $6.99. $6.99. So, for less than $7, 18 batteries. Can't go wrong. Need zip ties. 100 zip ties. These are the 12-inch, 11-inch cable ties. I got that for $3. And I got the 24-inch, 2 feet of zip tie here. 10 of these, less than $2, $1.89. But two things that I really wanted. One is this foot switch. This is an electric foot switch, also called a dead man switch. You hook this up to a device, and you turn on the device, and it will not power up until you press down on the switch. If you let up off the switch, it goes off. I want to use this for the fractal burning that I've started doing. I did a video on that. There's probably a card up here somewhere. I don't know, or over here. I don't know. You can take a look at that if you like. Fractal burning, you have to use a high power transformer, and it's extremely dangerous. So I want to hook this up to it so that I can have it at a safe distance so I don't get electrocuted. And I have to step on this in order for it to burn, and then step away, and then I don't have to worry about getting electrocuted, like I said. So we're going to try that out. I'll take that out of the box and we'll show you that. But the real unboxing today is something that is so simple, but will make your day a lot better. If you're trying to cut a sheet of plywood, let's say, or a long board, maybe you've got a 1-inch by 8-inch, 10-foot, 12-foot board, and you want to cut it on your table saw, you want to rip it, well, it's hard to hold the whole thing. By the time you get to the end of the board, you've got all the weight on the front of it, and it's pushing up, and I've got arthritis, and that's hard to do sometimes. So I bought one of these. And this is a roller stand. And what this does is we're going to put this all together, put that in front of the table saw, and then when I have a sheet of plywood or a long board and I want to rip that through the table saw, this will catch it on the other side. It's a very simple thing. A lot of people don't know what this is. They've never heard of it. And to be honest with you, to get this at Harbor Freight, I had to look around the whole damn store before I found it. And I found it underneath a rack, and it was hard to find. I asked somebody where they were and they didn't know. So yeah, it might take you a little time to find it when you go there, but it's well worth it. This is $17, I think. How much was this? This was, there it is, $17.49. And this is going to make your life a lot easier. Let me show you how. So let's get into this right now. This is our roller stand from Harbor Freight. Just over $17, $17.49. Let's open it up. I've been wanting one of these for a long time, but I kept forgetting to buy one when I got there. Every time I went there. So let's take a look at what I got. And this is probably the cheapest unboxing I've done in a very long time. But it's a very important tool. It really is. I'll try to do this without knocking my coffee on the floor. So, this is the roller. And I gotta say, it's a little narrower than I thought it was going to be, because I didn't read the dimensions on the box. I just saw it there and I was happy to find it, so I just grabbed it. But that's going to be fine. Now, if I were going to do a sheet of plywood, a full sheet of plywood, my saw is fairly small. I would probably buy 2 of these and have one on either side in the front. And these are the legs, pretty self-explanatory. And I'm dropping stuff on the ground. All right. And this is the frame. So let's put this all together. Now I have a better understanding of how this goes together. These are the feet. They have a screw through here, and you'll see there's what's called a barrel nut. Now the barrel nut is important because that's going to go inside the frame. And let's open this up just a little bit, make it a little easier. And you'll notice there's a nice radius here. This is where this is going to go in. But we have to get this screw into the threaded portion of the barrel nut. And that takes a little practice. First thing I'm going to do is take the enclosed hex key, put that in there like that. And then we want to line this up so that it goes into the threaded hole of the barrel nut. Now I could use a piece of tape or something to hold this to make it a little more steady. But I don't need to. Look at that. I was successful. Now I can take this off and just go ahead and tighten this up. And just do that to the other side. And I put this piece of Luan up here just so it would be flush. And I can drop that in and do the same thing. Keep in mind, I have really bad arthritis, so this is kind of tricky for me. But if I can do it, you can do it. That's the way I look at anything in life in general. If I can do it, there's a good chance you can do it. And there we go. Simple. Now that we have that assembled, all you have to do is set this on the floor. You open this up by turning that. That opens up, rests flush on the floor, and then tighten it back up. That's it. Now we can put the roller on. The last thing we have to do is just install the roller, and you do that by making sure you put this plate on this side. So this side here that folds up in, you want to make sure that's there. There are 2 holes here, 2 holes here. Put that right on here. Run your bolts through. And you'll have a washer and a nut for both. And it does come with a hex key, but it doesn't come with the wrench, and I don't want to look around for the proper size wrench. So I'm just going to use a crescent wrench. Adjustable wrenches usually fit. Make sure that the roller is flush on here, which it is. Loosen this and raise this to the desired height. And there we have our roller stand. Now I'm going to show you how that works. Before I demonstrate it for you, I just wanted to give you the dimensions. The roller is actually just under a foot. Actually, it's about 11.5 inches. That's nice. And the maximum height on this would be and there is a stop in there, so it won't go any further than that. It's not going to fall out on you. And we are at just under 45 inches, 3 foot 9 inches. So that's not bad. That's a good height. And the minimum is going to be just about 27 inches, so 2 feet 3 inches. So that's pretty good. So let's set this up, and I'll demonstrate how it works. There are a couple of different ways to get this to the right height, or get our roller to the right height. One is measure the distance between the top of the table, which is 35.5 inches, and then measure the roller height, and we could set that at 35.5 inches. The way I do it, I don't like to measure stuff if I don't have to. I'll take the stock, put it on here, and then just adjust it up. Now I'll go just under, so when the stock comes off, it'll hit that. By the time it comes all the way to the end, it's nice and flush. So that's pretty much how it works. I really don't want to cut this because I don't know what I'm going to use it for. This came out of an old waterbed. I think it was a backing board for the headboard. I don't know. But I'm just going to show you how this is easier. If I were to saw this and we did not have the roller, first of all, I'd have to line this up. I'd have my fence, I'd line this up, start running it through. By the time I get to here, I've got all this weight is pushing down. Now I've got to hold it still and then clear the blade. By the time I clear the blade, that's so damn heavy. And for me, I'm an older guy, I've got arthritis, that hurts. So with this, now I can easily roll that on, and get it right to the end. And look at that. It's just nothing but hook it on there. And if I bring this a little further out, put a little more distance, then look at that. No pressure on my hands at all. So this is going to come to be very, very handy. It's a very simple thing. Like I said in the beginning, less than $18. I am going to pick up another one because if I want to do a full sheet of plywood on this saw, this is a job site saw, so it's not very big. This will make the job a heck of a lot easier. And the nice thing about this thing too is it stores very easily. Just fold it, push that down all the way. Now I can hang it up on a hook. I can slide it underneath the bench, just put it up against one of my tools, and hey, it's out of the way. Quick little bonus unboxing. We're also going to do the Deadman switch. As I said before, this is an electric foot switch, and I'm just going to hook it up to, I'll hook it up to the table saw and show you just quickly how this works. It's very, very simple. This is so simple, we don't even need these. This was just over, what was it, $14? Let's take a look. I've got the receipt right here. $14.99, so $15. And it is what it is. You might have seen something similar to this on a sewing machine, but this has a different purpose. All right, first thing we do, unplug the table saw from the power strip. Now we're going to plug the table saw into the foot switch. Now we're going to plug the foot switch into the power strip. We're going to hold that down so now we have power. I'm going to make sure this is in frame. Is it? It is. Okay. Now we can turn on the saw. And when I let off the switch, you can see that it shuts off. For the table saw, I probably would never use this, but I will use it for other tools. I could use this for the joiner, the planer, and of course I'm going to use it for the fractal burning. That is the most important. This is a high voltage power supply. This came out of a microwave, and you got to be really, really super careful with these. What I'll do with this is I'll actually plug it into the switch, and then when I want to use it, I'll have to stand on the switch, so I'll keep it at a safe distance. When I let off the switch, when I walk away, that it should shut off. This is going to be for the fractal burning, which is very dangerous, but really, really cool. So this is going to come in really handy. That's a little bonus unboxing. I mean, there's not much to say about this. Yeah, it's made out of plastic, but it should work. And I feel a hell of a lot safer using that fractal burner with this than without it. So you could also use this for a welder too, or there's an unlimited amount of things you could plug into this. Anything you want to turn on with your foot and make sure that it shuts off when you walk away, that's what you want to do. Now, I might buy a few more of these and actually hook them up to things like my bandsaw, my drill press, and most importantly, the joiner over here, because that's a dangerous tool too. I know people have actually lost their fingertips on these, and they've left it running. The shop gets very loud, and sometimes old people get confused. So if you've got a foot switch on there, you're not going to do that. And I know what you're thinking. If you're getting that confused when you're doing this, you probably shouldn't be doing it anyway, but you know, I'm stubborn, so I'm going to do it. But that's it for this. The roller is a great idea. If you have never used one, please get one. If you're going to do a project that requires you to rip long boards or a full sheet of plywood, anything bulky like that, you're going to want at least one roller. I'm going to get another one so I have at least two. Not only is this a good idea for the table saw, but you can use it on the joiner. You can use it on the planer. On the planer, it'll be really nice As long as the height is not an issue, if I can get it low enough or pick up the joiner high enough, then when I take things out, that will help against something called snipe when I'm using the planer. So we're going to try that on another video too. That's it. Thanks for joining me here deep in the trailer hood. Trailer hood? What the hell is a trailer hood? The trailer hood. And geez, confused as ever, but I am the old guy, and I'm out.